Hey, it's Silvana here from Purpose Driven Tribe, and today I'm with Jacob Sapochnick from a law firm based in San Diego. Hi, Jacob.
Hey Silvana, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much for connecting with me here. And I'm really excited about this conversation and this interview because you are one of the most inspirational lawyers I met in my life. And also you're a very good friend of mine, and your story, the way you run your business, the way you connect with people and what you do for others is amazing. So I think our purpose-driven tribe can truly learn from you. And yeah, that's why I'm very, very excited. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background about Jacob, he's originally from Israel. He's been in States for 18 years, and he's been serving, helping other people to find their way and find their legal way to find their home in United States. And he's been a lawyer for 14 years. And running his successful law firm for the past 12 years, since 2004. Now, Jacob is not just like a traditional lawyer, and that's the reason why I invited him for this interview, because there's something incredible about his vision, about his mindset, and also about the way he treat others. And I'm talking about his employees, his clients, and other entrepreneurs. So today I would like to focus on those relationships you were able to create over past 12 years and more, and also your vision about your business and mindset. Okay. So let's start from the beginning. What was your why in the first place when you decided to become a lawyer?
So, the reason I came to the United States is because I went to school here. Right? I went to law school here too, and I wanted to, get into. I wanted to be copyrights of of internet law, music law, and that was the reason why I came here. So, I finished school, and I think that for me to be a lawyer was to have the tools, the power of the law to be able to reach certain goals, to be able to guide clients. It was more about me getting into the legal space and trying to make myself a career in it. And I worked at a law firm a couple of years, and I didn't really like it. I was really disappointed because I felt like, I spent all this time and money to become an attorney, and I wasn't really happy.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I wasn't happy is because the law firm I was working for, their main goal was only money. That's all they did. They wanted to, everything they did was about money. How to bill more, how to take more, how to do this and this. It was all about money, and it was not a positive place. And so I became more and more sad. And then finally, when one day I just quit. I had no plan, nothing. I just quit. It was a Monday morning. I remember I came to work, and I just left after 1 hour, gave my notice. And when I started my firm, the idea was that I could create something different by and again, my why was to be able to, in the beginning, was to educate, because I realized that the firm that I was working for, they charge for information, and like most lawyers do. And for me, because I didn't have any clients, and I decided to do something different, more than other lawyers. I decided not to charge for information. I decided to give the information away in any way that I could. In the beginning, it was blogging, because there was no YouTube and Facebook as it is today. 2004, we had one of the first legal blogs in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
We still have it today. It's the Visa Lawyer blog. I launched it 2005, late 2004.
Okay.
And the idea
that was a couple of years after, 1 year after
it
you
was
started your
less than a year after I started.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is that I realized that by giving away information, I'm able to create trust And by creating trust, I'm able to elevate myself into a position where I couldn't, because how could I compete with lawyers that do it for 30 years? How could I compete with somebody that has money to advertise, which I didn't? The only way is to educate for free and build your trust. So I started I remember literally 2 months after the blog started, and I was writing. I had no clients. I got a call from Fox News, and they said, "Can we speak to Jacob?" And I was like, oh, maybe there's a mistake. And then they, we're reading your blog, and you're the expert in this field, and they wanted to interview me about some law changes. And I realized the power of information. So after the blog, we had the YouTube videos that we started doing in 2009, and then my biggest thing was Facebook. We started building even today we have one of the largest Facebook communities in the world for any law firm, with more than 130,000 fans.
Wow.
Active fans, and we continue to build our reputation using Facebook. But it's all about the same, it's still the same
purpose,
same idea. So to educate for free, build trust, and give away knowledge, and then it continues to come back to you.
So educate for free, give knowledge and trust, and build trust. So I want to move a few steps back, because what I'm interested in is that this transition. When you said you came home and you felt like really unhappy in your previous firm, and you quit. You quit, but you didn't have a plan. You didn't know what's going to happen next, right? Now, what was happening in your mind? What was happening in your head back then? Because that is very important. And I think very often people give up in this specific moment, or what they do, they stay for a long time without a job. They, let's say, lend the money, borrow the money from someone, or they stay at their parents' or friend's couch, whatever it's comfortable to do for that time. And then because they need the job and they desperate for it, they try to get any type of job, any kind of job, just to pay their bills, right? So I think in this specific moment, what is the most important thing to do so people can get really connected with their purpose? Or maybe they can start a journey and do something completely in a different direction, maybe slightly more risky, but which will fulfill their passion, their vision, and their purpose in the future, like you did.
So I think the biggest thing is that, I left because I was so unhappy to the point where I felt that I can't continue living this life anymore. The anxiety of getting up in the morning and all that. And so the moment you quit, there is basically we call this the corridor of opportunity. And the corridor of opportunity is a concept that it allows you, when you reach the point of desperation, but you have the skills and the abilities to create something better for yourself, that corridor allows you to enter and see the light, right? And even though you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know how you're going to be able to reach what you want, you know that once you're inside that corridor, anything is possible. So for me, when I entered the corridor, I basically decided that I'm going to start my law firm. I didn't have any clients, I didn't have any prospects, but I did have one thing, which is the peace of mind, because I didn't have that anxiety anymore. The peace of mind that I can create something different. And so while I was in that corridor, I was building the foundation to create the law firm, which I didn't know exactly how I'm going to do it. But because you have that mentality, that mental state where you know that you're doing something positive, the most important thing to do when you're in that corridor is not to listen to anybody's advice. Because what happens when you walk in that corridor, there are windows on the side, and everybody's screaming and saying, get another job, do this, don't do this, do this. And you hear those advice. You're not going to be able to make it. There's too many lawyers out there. You don't have any money. You never did this before. And as you walk in that corridor, you hear those things. And the point is, some people, what happens, they just fall back and they return to the beginning. And that's when it becomes even more difficult. But if you continue walking that corridor and you reach to the end, doesn't matter what everybody say, once you leave that corridor, you enter another space. It's called the hall of opportunity. And in that hall of opportunity, you start creating whatever it is. So you may start a blog, or like in my case, I started my office and everything. And in the hall, there are many things. Even if you fail, a lot of people in that hall are very positive. They say, oh, don't worry about it. You can do it. Look at this guy. He's doing it. And that's when you start growing. You know what I mean? And for me, that was really the biggest shift, because once I started doing things correctly that first year, I was going full speed ahead for the next 12 years.